Reading out the indictment, now Annex 1, additional historical and political facts.
Yes, Your Honor. Croatia. In advance of the 1990 elections, the Nationalistic Serbian Democratic Party, the SDS, which advocated the autonomy and later secession of predominantly Serb areas from Croatia, was founded in Knin. Vojislav Seselj maintained contact with the leaders of the SDS. He attended meetings of the SDS and took part in the SDS political events. On July 25, 1990, a group of SDS leaders established the Serbian National Council, the SNC, adopting a declaration on autonomy and the position of Serbs in Croatia, and on the sovereignty and autonomy of the Serbian nation. On 30th July 1990, during the SNC's first constituent session, a referendum, which would confirm the autonomy and sovereignty of the Serb nation in Croatia, was scheduled. On 17 August 1990, Serbs in Knin put up barricades after the Croatian government declared the referendum illegal. Between 19 August and the 2nd of September 1990, Croatian Serbs held a referendum on the issue of Serb sovereignty and autonomy in Croatia. The vote took place in the predominantly Serb areas of Croatia and was limited to Serb voters. Croats who lived in the affected region were barred from participating in the referendum. The result of the vote was overwhelmingly in support of Serb autonomy. On 30 September 1990, the SNC declared the autonomy of the Serbian people on ethnic and historic territories on which it lives and which are within the current boundaries of the Republic of Serbia as a federal unit of the Socialist Federal Republic of Yugoslavia. On 21st December 1990, Croatian Serbs in Knin announced the creation of a Serbian Autonomous District, the SAO, of Krajina and subsequently declared their independence from Croatia. On 7 January 1991, the Serbian National Council, the SNC, for Slavonia, Baranja, and Western Srem, the SBWS, was formed in Šidski Banovci. Conflicts between armed Serbs and Croatian police forces erupted throughout the spring of 1991. In March 1991, the conflict intensified with clashes in Pakrac and Plitvice. At Plitvice on the 31st of March 1991, Serbs attacked a bus carrying Croatian policemen and another battle erupted. The JNA deployed troops in the area and issued an ultimatum to the Croatian police to withdraw from Plitvice. Vojislav Seselj and some of his volunteers took part in the events in Plitvice, the SOA Krajina. In discussions with the JNA officers, he introduced himself as Vojvoda. He made extreme nationalistic speeches inciting the local population to engage in violence against the Croatian police. On the 1st April 1991, the Executive Council of the SAO Krajina adopted a resolution to incorporate the SAO Krajina into the Republic of Serbia. At the same time, the SAO Krajina recognized the Constitution and laws of Serbia as well as the SFRY constitutional legal system and decided that the laws and regulations of Serbia applied throughout the territory. In the end of April 1991, armed local Serbs, assisted by Šešelj's men and other Serbian volunteers, erected barricades in the village of Borovo Selo near Vukovar. On the 1st May 1991, these armed Serbs took hostage a number of Croatian policemen who were sent to restore law and order in Borovo Selo. On the 2nd of May, the Croatian police authorities in Osijek sent a larger group of heavily armed policemen to Borovo Selo to free the hostages. Local armed Serbs assisted by Šešelj's men and other Serbian volunteers ambushed this group of policemen. 12 Croatian policemen were killed and 20 injured in the fighting. On the 12th of May 1991, a referendum was held in the SAO Krajina, Slavonia, Baranja, and Western Srem concerning the annexation of these regions to Serbia and the consolidation of these regions in Yugoslavia with Serbia, Montenegro, and others that wished to preserve Yugoslavia. The annexation was supported by 99.8% of those who voted. On 19 May 1991, Croatia held a referendum in which the electorate voted overwhelmingly for independence from the SFRY. On the 25th of June 1991, Croatia and the Republic of Slovenia declared their independence from the SFRY. On the 25th of June 1991, the JNA moved to suppress Slovenia's secession. On the 25th of June 1991, the Great National Assembly of SBWS was formed in Pačka, Palanka, Serbia, at a meeting attended by representatives of all the Serb villages in the SBWS. The Great National Assembly decided that the region of the SWS was to be constituted as SAO SBWS and was to secede from Croatia. Goran Hadžić, until then president of the SNC, was elected prime minister designate. The European community sought to mediate in the conflict. On the 8th of July 1991, an agreement was reached that Croatia and Slovenia would suspend implementation of their independence until the 8th October 1991. The European community ultimately recognized Croatia as an independent state on the 15th of January 1992. On the 18th of July 1991, the Federal Presidency, with the support of the Serbian and Montenegrin governments and General Kadijević, voted to withdraw the JNA from Slovenia, thereby acceding to its secession and the dissolution of the SFRY. The Serbs in the Krajina region, in eastern Slavonia and in western Slavonia, began receiving increasing support from the government of Serbia and the JNA. By August 1991, local Serb territorial defense, volunteer and police forces in these regions were being supplied, trained, and partly led by the JNA and officials of the Serbian MUP. Throughout August and September 1991, large areas in Croatia came under Serb control as a result of actions by Serb military forces, including Šešelj's men, the White Eagles, and police forces. During this period, Vojislav Seselj constantly appealed to the public to join the war effort. He visited the front lines on numerous occasions and held meetings with the local Serb leaders. In the Serb-occupied regions in Krajina, Slavonia, Baranja, and Western Srem, the Croatian and other non-Serb populations were systematically driven out, and the areas were incorporated into the various Serbian autonomous districts, as specified above. The JNA remained deployed in the areas where the Serb insurgents had taken control, thereby securing their gains. On the 13th of August 1991, the West Slavonian members of the Presidency of the SDS of Slavonia held a session in Pakrac, at which it was decided to declare that the establishment of the Serbian Autonomous District, Western Slavonia, the ethnic distribution of the population was used as the criteria for defining the territory of SAO Western Slavonia. The municipalities included in the SAO Western Slavonia were those whose representatives were present at the above session of the SDS Regional Board: Pakrac, Daruvar, Grubišno Polje, Podravska, Slatina, Okjučani, and parts of the Slavonski Počega and Orahovica municipalities. In these areas, Serbs represented 50% or more of the total population. In August 1991, Serb forces led by the JNA undertook operations against towns in eastern Slavonia, resulting in their occupation. The Croat and other non-Serb populations of these areas were forcibly expelled. In late August, Serb forces laid siege to the city of Vukovar. By mid-October 1991, all other predominantly Croat towns in eastern Slavonia had been taken over by Serb forces except Vukovar. Non-Serbs were subjected to a brutal occupation regime consisting of persecution, murder, torture, and other acts of violence. A large portion of the non-Serb population was eventually killed or forced from the occupied areas. The siege of Vukovar continued until 18 November 1991, when the city fell to the Serb forces. During the course of the 3-month siege, the city was largely destroyed by the JNA shelling, and hundreds of persons were killed. When the Serb forces occupied the city, hundreds of Croats were killed by Serb forces. Most of the non-Serb population of the city was expelled within days of its fall under Serb control. In Geneva, on 23 November 1991, Slobodan Milošević, Federal Secretary of People's Defense, Veljko Kadijević, and Franjo Tuđman entered into an agreement signed under the auspices of the United Nations Special Envoy Cyrus Vance. This agreement called for the lifting of blockades by Croatian forces on the JNA barracks and for the withdrawal of JNA forces from Croatia. Both sides committed themselves to an immediate ceasefire throughout Croatia by units under their command, control, or political influence, and further bound themselves to ensure that any paramilitary or irregular units associated with their forces would also observe the ceasefire. On the 19th of December 1991, the SAO Krajina proclaimed itself the Republic of Serbian Krajina, the RSK, with Milan Babić as its first president. On the 26th February 1992, the SAO Western Slavonia and SAO SBWS joined it in unilateral declarations by these entities. Under the Vance Plan, 3 United Nations protected areas, the UNPAs, were created, Krajina, Western Slavonia, SBWS, corresponding with 4 sectors, south, north, west, and east, in the areas occupied by Serb forces. The Vance Plan called for the withdrawal of the JNA from Croatia, the return of displaced persons to their homes in the UNPAs, and the demilitarization of these UNPAs. Although the JNA officially withdrew from Croatia in May 1992, large portions of its weaponry and personnel remained in the Serb-held areas and were turned over to the police of the RSK. Displaced persons were not allowed to return to their homes, and those few Croats and other non-Serbs who had remained in the Serb-occupied areas were expelled in the following months and years. The Serb-held territories in the RSK remained under Serb control until early May and early August 1995, respectively. In early May 1995, during Operation Flash, the Croatian authorities re-established control over Western Slavonia. In early August 1995, the Serb political and military leadership left most of Croatian territory during a massive Croatian operation. This operation, commonly referred to as Operation Storm, restored Croatian control over most of the RSK territory. The remaining areas of Serb control in the eastern Slavonia, Baranja, and western Srem were peacefully reintegrated into Croatia in 1998. Bosnia and Herzegovina. In November 1990, multi-party elections were held in Bosnia and Herzegovina. At the republic level, the SDA, the Party of the Bosnian Muslims, won 86 seats. The SDS, the Party of the Bosnian Serbs, won 72 seats, and the HDZ won 44 seats in the assembly. The central idea within the SDS political platform, as articulated by its leaders, including Radovan Karadzic, Momčilo Krajišnik, and Biljana Plavšić, was the unification of all Serbs within one state. The SDS regarded the separation of Bosnia and Herzegovina from the SFRY as a threat to the interests of the Serbs. The results of the November 1990 elections meant that, as time went on, the SDS would be unable, through peaceful means, to keep Bosnia and Herzegovina in what was becoming a Serb-dominated Yugoslavia. As a result, Serb people within certain areas of Bosnia and Herzegovina, with Serb majorities, began to organize themselves into formal regional structures that they referred to as associations of municipalities. In April 1991, the Association of Municipalities of Bosnia and Krajina, centered in Banja Luka, was formed. From autumn 1991, the JNA began to withdraw its forces out of Croatia. Forces under the control of the JNA began to redeploy in Bosnia and Herzegovina. Many of these troops were deployed to areas in which there was no garrison or other JNA facility. As the war continued in Croatia, it appeared increasingly likely that Bosnia and Herzegovina would also declare its independence from the SFRY. The SDS, realizing it could not prevent the secession of Bosnia and Herzegovina from the SFRY, began the creation of a separate Serbian entity within Bosnia and Herzegovina. During the period from September to November 1991, several Serbian autonomous regions were formed, some of them on the basis of the associations of municipalities referred to above. On 12 September 1991, the Serbian Autonomous Region of Herzegovina was proclaimed. On 16 September 1991, the Assembly of the Association of Municipalities of Bosnia and Krajina proclaimed the Autonomous Region of Krajina. By the 21st of November 1991, the Serbian autonomous regions and autonomous regions consisted of the Autonomous Region of Krajina, the SAO Herzegovina, the SAO Romania Birac, the SAO Severija, and the SAO Northern Bosnia. On the 15th of October 1991, at the meeting of the SDS Party Council, a decision was made to form a separate assembly entitled the Assembly of the Serbian People of Bosnia and Herzegovina to secure Serb interests. On the 24th October 1991, the Assembly of the Serbian People in Bosnia and Herzegovina, dominated by the SDS, decided to conduct a plebiscite of the Serbian people in Bosnia and Herzegovina in order to decide whether to stay in the common state of Yugoslavia with Serbia, Montenegro, the Serbian Autonomous Region of Krajina, the SAO Western Slavonia, and SAO Eastern Slavonia, Baranja, and Western Srem. On 9 and 10 November 1991, the Bosnian Serbs held the plebiscite. The results overwhelmingly showed that the Bosnian Serbs wanted to stay in Yugoslavia. On 11 December 1991, the Assembly of the Serbian People made a request to the JNA to protect, with all available means as integral parts of the state of Yugoslavia, the territories of Bosnia and Herzegovina, in which the plebiscite of the Serbian people and other citizens on remaining in a joint Yugoslav state had been conducted. On the 9th of January 1992, the Assembly of the Serbian People of Bosnia and Herzegovina adopted a declaration on the proclamation of the Serbian Republic of Bosnia and Herzegovina. The territory of that republic was declared to include the territories of the Serbian autonomous regions and districts and of other Serbian ethnic entities in Bosnia and Herzegovina, including the regions in which the Serbian people remained in the minority due to the genocide conducted against it in World War II, and it was declared to be part of the federal Yugoslav state. On the 12th of August 1992, the name of the Bosnian Serb Republic was changed to Republika Srpska. From the 29th of February to the 2nd of March 1992, Bosnia and Herzegovina held a referendum on independence. At the urging of the SDS, the majority of Bosnian Serbs boycotted the vote. The referendum resulted in a pro-independence majority. On the 27th of March 1992, the Serbian Republic of Bosnia and Herzegovina was formally proclaimed in Pale. From March 1992 onwards, Serb regular and irregular forces seized control of the territories within Bosnia and Herzegovina, including those specified in this indictment. On the 6th of April 1992, the United States and the European Community formally recognized the independence of Bosnia and Herzegovina. On the 27th of April 1992, Serbia and Montenegro proclaimed a new Federal Republic of Yugoslavia and declared it the successor state of the Socialist Federal Republic of Yugoslavia. On the 15th of May 1992, the United Nations Security Council, in its resolution number 752, demanded that all interference from outside Bosnia and Herzegovina by units of the JNA as well as elements of the Croatian Army, the HV, cease immediately, and that those units either be withdrawn, be subjected to the authority of the government of the Republic, or be disbanded and disarmed. Vojislav Seselj visited Bosnia and Herzegovina before and during the period of the armed conflict to boost the morale of the participants. In October 1991, he visited Serb soldiers in Trebinje, gathered in preparation for the attack on Dubrovnik. In May and August 1992, he visited Gatsko and Zvornik, respectively. In May 1993, he gave a speech in Banja Luka. In September 1993, Vojislav Seselj had a conflict with Slobodan Milosevic, during which he challenged Milosevic's leadership and called for a vote of no confidence in the government of Serbia. Between October and November 1993, dozens of Vojislav Seselj's Chetnik volunteers were arrested in Serbia and charged with war crimes and other offenses.
Thank you very much. I can see no objections from the side of the prosecution to continue with Annex 2.
Yes, Your Honor.
Then I may ask you to read slowly Annex 2, the next for victims from Vocin, Bukane, and Kraskovic, related to paragraph 19 of the indictment we have before us.
Yes, Your Honor. Number 1991, Vocin. Aga Simic. Year of birth 1929, sex female. Maria Matanci. Year of birth 1939, sex female. Franca Persic. Year of birth 1928, sex female. Branko Medic. Year of birth 1959, sex male. Stepan Matanci. Year of birth 1932, sex male. Stepan Jurmanovic. Year of birth 1933, sex male. Jakub Šimak. Year of birth 1911, sex male. Angelina Štimac. Year of birth 1915, sex female. Ante Bujevac. Year of birth 1907, sex male. Rosalia Tomola. Year of birth 1921, sex female. Alozie Persic. Year of birth 1922, sex male. Drakotin Wolf. Year of birth 1922, sex male. Marica Ivankovic. Year of birth 1930, sex male. Franjo Matanci. Year of birth 1926, sex male. Mariha Matanci. Year of birth 1927, sex female. Mirko Medved. Year of birth 1929, sex male. Paulina Doric. Year of birth 1911, sex female. Julka Šimić, year of birth 1932, sex female. Josip Pahtel, year of birth 1965, sex male. Ivan Šimić, year of birth 1932, sex male. Mariha Šimić, year of birth 1934, sex female. Veronika Ament, year of birth 1914, sex female. Stepan Stimac, year of birth 1959, sex male. Mirjana Bacic, year of birth 1963, sex female. Mariha Majdancic, year of birth 1919, sex female. Stepan Majic, year of birth 1909, sex male. Anna Majic, year of birth 1918, sex female. Ivica Bon, year of birth 1954, sex male. Goran Salac, year of birth 1972, sex male. Vlado Supan, year of birth 1959, sex male. Drago Ivankovic, year of birth 1960, sex male. An additional deceased who is unidentified, Your Honor. December 1991, in the location of Hume. Marko Vukovic, year of birth 1934, sex male. Marian Duzel, birth 1931, sex male. Roman Ridal, year of birth 1932, sex male. Ivo Banovac, year of birth 1934, sex male. December 1991, location Bokane. Stoyan Nenadovic, year of birth 1914, sex male. Tomislav Martinkovic, year of birth 1939, sex male. Katica Martinkovic, year of birth 1936, sex female. December 1991, in the location of Kraskovic. Zlatko Kovac, year of birth 1966, sex male. Duro Kovac, year of birth 1922, sex male. Anna Kovac, year of birth 1927, sex female. Pista Kovac, year of birth 1953, sex male.
Thank you. It will then follow Annex Roman 3, the victims from the Vukovar hospital, related to paragraph 20 of the indictment.
20th of November 1991, location Ovčara. Jozo Adšaka, year of birth 1949, sex male. Finko Adrinjanic, year of birth 1953, sex male. Jadranko Anic Antic, year of birth 1959, sex male. Krešimir Arnold, year of birth 1958, sex male. Iliha Azajanin, year of birth 1952, sex male. Dražen Babic, year of birth 1966, sex male. Ivan Benrosh, year of birth 1956, sex male. Tomislav Beinro, year of birth 1938, sex male. Goran Bakita, year of birth 1960, sex male. Stefan Balash, year of birth 1956, sex male. Dragutin Balog, year of birth 1974, sex male. Josip Balog, year of birth 1928, sex male. Zvonimir Balog, year of birth 1958, sex male. Juro Balvanac, year of birth 1952, sex male. Boris Banashich, year of birth 1967, sex male. Pero Baranyaki, year of birth 1968, sex male. Branko Barbaric, year of birth 1967, sex male. Lovro Barbir, year of birth 1935, sex male. Željko Baričević, year of birth 1965, sex male. Franjo Barišić, year of birth 1946, sex male. Angelko Barta, year of birth 1967, sex male. Josip Batarello, year of birth 1947, sex male. Željko Batarello, year of birth 1955, sex male. Tomislav Baumgartner, year of birth 1972, sex male. Marko Bekšević, year of birth 1968, sex male. Željko Begov, year of birth 1958, sex male. Stepan Bingula, year of birth 1958, sex male. Ringo Bielanovic, year of birth 1970, sex male. Miroslav Blaskovic, year of birth 1959, sex male. Slatko Blashevic, year of birth 1964, sex male. Ante Bodrosic, year of birth 1953, sex male. Marko Bosak, year of birth 1967, sex male. Dragutin Bosanac, year of birth 1919, sex male. Tomislav Bosanac, year of birth 1941, sex male. Josip Boshyakov, year of birth 1960, sex male. 20th November 1991, location of Chara. Ivan Boshak, year of birth 1958, male, sex male. Zvonimir Brasic, year of birth 1970, sex male. Josip Bradaric, year of birth 1949, sex male. Josip Bradic, year of birth 1950, sex male. Ivan Boivas, year of birth 1966, sex male. Zvanko Bucic, year of birth 1955, sex male. Ivan Cernyak, year of birth 1966, sex male. Zvonimir Shaleta, year of birth 1953, sex male. Ivica Sholak, year of birth 1965, sex male. Mladen Šupic, year of birth 1967, sex male. Tihomir Dalic, year of birth 1966, sex male. Ivica Dolishny, year of birth 1960, sex male. Ivan Doshin, year of birth 1958, sex male. Martin Doshin, year of birth 1952, sex male. Tadiha Doshin, year of birth 1950, sex male. Josip Dragun, year of birth 1962, sex male. Stanko Duvjak, year of birth 1959, sex male. Sasha Jujar, year of birth 1968, sex male. Vladimir Jukic, year of birth 1948, sex male. Vinko Juro Ebner, year of birth 1961, sex male. Ivan Fury, year of birth 1915, sex male. Carlo Fitush, year of birth 1964, sex male. Dragutin Friščić, year of birth 1958, sex male. Petar Furins Jiha, year of birth 1949, sex male. Robert Gajda, year of birth 1966, sex male. Milenko Galic, year of birth 1965, sex male. Vedran Galic, year of birth 1973, sex male. Borislav Garvanovic, year of birth 1954, sex male. Zorislav Kaspar, year of birth 1971, sex male. Dragan Gafric, year of birth 1956, sex male. Sinisha Blavashevich, year of birth 1960, sex male. Yozo Goyani, year of birth 1966, sex male. Grunoslav Golats, year of birth 1959, sex male. Branislav Graf, year of birth 1955, sex male. Dragan Granic, year of birth 1960, sex male. Milan Grecha, year of birth 1959, sex male. Zoran Gruber, year of birth 1969, sex male. Drago Gudel, year of birth 1940, sex male. Tomislav Giged Dušić, year of birth 1953, sex male. Mario Giged Dušić, year of birth 1972, sex male. Željko Persik, year of birth 1962, sex male. Ivan Herman, year of birth 1969, sex male. Stepan Herman, year of birth 1955, sex male. Nedelko Len van Yak, year of birth 1964, sex male. Nikita Kolyevats, year of birth 1955, sex male. Ivica Horvat, year of birth 1958, sex male. Viktor Horvat, year of birth 1949, sex male. Nedelko Husniak, year of birth 1969, sex male. Svanko Ilesh, year of birth 1941, sex male. Ivica Ibrishich, year of birth 1957, sex male. Zlatko Ivan, year of birth 1955, sex male. Alexander Ivesic, year of birth 1950, sex male. Marko Yayalo, year of birth 1957, sex male. Martin Yakubovsky, year of birth 1971, sex male. Jubomir Yalshovets, year of birth 1957, sex male. Tomo Yabbor, year of birth 1966, sex male. Mihail Janic, year of birth 1939, sex male. Borislav Janic, year of birth 1956, sex male. Boris Yantol, year of birth 1959, sex, male. Zlatko Jarabek, year of birth 1956, sex, male. Ivica Jezidzic, year of birth 1957, sex, male. Zvonomir Jovan, year of birth 1967, sex, male. Branko Jovanovic, year of birth 1955, sex, male. Oliver Jovanovic, year of birth 1972, sex, male. Goran Jolaric, year of birth 1971, sex, male. Damir Jurela, year of birth 1969, sex, male. Željko Jurela, year of birth 1956, sex, male. Drago Jurendic, year of birth 1966, sex, male. Marko Juricic, year of birth 1946, sex, male. Pavel Juricic, year of birth 1966, sex, male. Željko Juricic, year of birth 1963, sex, male. Igor Yashic, year of birth 1975, male. Josip Kapustic, 1965, sex, male. Krešimir Kelava, year of birth 1953, sex, male. Damir Kural, year of birth 1964, sex, male. Damir Kural, year of birth 1959, sex, male. Goran Kitic, year of birth 1966, sex, male. Juro Knesic, year of birth 1937, sex, male. Tomislav Kolak, year of birth 1962, sex, male. Vladimir Kolak, year of birth 1966, sex, male. Duško Kologranic, year of birth 1950, sex, male. Ivan Komorsky, year of birth 1952, sex, male. Bono Kostenac, year of birth 1942, sex, male. Borislav Kostovic, year of birth 1962, sex, male. Božidar Koshir, year of birth 1957, sex, male. Ivan Kovacs, year of birth 1953, sex, male. Mladen Kovacs, year of birth 1958, sex, male. Zoran Kovacevic, year of birth 1962, sex, male. Damir Kovacic, year of birth 1970, sex, male. Josip Kozul, year of birth 1968, sex, male. Ivan Krajinovic, year of birth 1966, sex, male. Zlatko Krajinovic, year of birth 1969, sex, male. Ivan Krasic, year of birth 1964, sex, male. Ivica Krezo, year of birth 1963, sex, male. Kazimir Kristeševic, year of birth 1959, sex, male. Drago Krishan,